Greetings to our teacher. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning,
How
Miss.
are you? There is a feature in Zoom to show your reactions to something, right? I want you to click that and please find one emoticons to show your feeling today. Andika, do you want to ask something? Is everything okay, Farhan and Zafira?
Oke, Miss.
How about others? Ayo, yang lain malu-malu nih. Takut saya tanyain ya. Okay. Prasetya, you're sleepy?
Yes, Miss.
What lesson did you have this morning? What activity did you have this morning? For the first lesson.
I'm just woke up, Miss.
Oh, really? You're so honest. What lesson did you have this morning? Everyone?
Fisika.
Physics.
Physics.
And no activity
Physics.
for physics lesson?
Cuman absen.
Oh, wah, nice.
Ada absen.
Nice, so nice. Enak ya, nggak ada tugas ya. Okay, everyone, like what I said to Rayhan Nabil that today in our last meeting, ada helikopter lewat, guys. We are going to finish the last material, which is cause-effect relationship. And I forgot I told it to you or not last meeting. As you know that the LB teachers and also I, as your theoretical English teacher, divided the material for this for the second semester. For the second semester, we finished the news item, and at LB you are going to finish the analytical exposition text. But then, based on the activities that the first block is doing now in LB, the material is not learned deeper. So for your preparation too, in doing the final test letter, 3 weeks later, I decided to give this material to you, at least explain it shortly about analytical exposition text. And yesterday, really at the night, sorry for disturbing your time, I asked you to open to find the material of analytical expositions and then watch videos about the explanations of cause-effect relationship and linking words. And I give you a pre-test today, and the result shows that most of you got the quite nice grade score. So it means that I think I can conclude that you already understand the material. Am I right or not? Yes or no? Thank you, Fawaz. Which one, Fawaz? Or so? Yang mana? Yes or no? So you click one reaction again. Kamu kalau saya suruh ngomong pasti susah. Show your reaction, please. Have you understood the materials or not? Gak ada jawaban so-so soalnya. Adanya yes or no. Thank you, Andika Akmal. Thank you, Fatia. Thank you, Karen. How about others? Fathan, thank you. How about others? Salsabila. Yeah, right? You understood it. Nice. Jadi saya nggak usah panjang-panjang jelasin dong ya. Should I explain it again or not?
Yes, please.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, Manuha, you still need more explanation. Okay, biar cepet ya. Let me share you my slide first. Okay, I have shared the slide too in your in GZR and your Google Classroom, in English Google Classroom. So I think you can check it out too. Okay. Is my sharing screen appear in your screen now? Sudah muncul belum, guys? Can you tell me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, analytical exposition text. Okay, let's start it with this. By the way, I have a challenge. Is there any one of you is brave enough to explain what it is to us here? There will be a bonus point for you for your midterm test score. I will give you plus point if you are able to explain it to your friends here. But of course, without reading any sources, explain it with your own words. Ayo, ada yang berani nggak? Bonus point for your midterm test score.
Saya coba, Fis.
Sorry?
Saya mau coba.
Okay, please, Fathan. Mention your name first.
My name is Fathan.
Mhm,
Muhammad Fathan Alwani.
mhm.
And I want to explain about analytical exposition text.
Mhm.
Definitionnya saja, Miss.
Oh, it's up to you. You may tell anything
sorry.
that you know.
So analytical exposition text is it's a text that explains the opinion or the argument from the writer's point of view.
Mhm.
And because it's analytical exposition, the text is telling us about something that happens around the writers.
Mhm. For
And
example,
that's the function.
for example.
For example, if there is a there's a vaccination in our school,
Okay.
and then the problem of the student that cannot for example, there is the change in schedule about offline school and online school,
Okay, good.
and then also the effects of that problem, and then the writer's opinion about the problem.
Okay. Okay.
And then the function of the exposition text is to inform that the problem or the issue is important for the audience, for the readers to think about.
And then what does the writer write in the text to support the ideas?
Oh yeah, the ideas of the issue can be supported by an argument. They can be also facts and proofs of that argument.
Okay. Okay, the last. What did the writer write to close stating the idea? I mean, to close all the opinion, also arguments stated in the text.
In the structure, I'm
not asking. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, you may answer it. Okay.
The writers may write the conclusion and the final. What is that? I'm sorry, Miss.
It's okay. The final conclusion or the final statement?
The final statement of the problem.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Fathan. Give applause to Fathan, everyone. Very nice explanations from you. Thank you so much. Good. Okay, I have a question for you. I think I do agree with what Fathan is explaining to you. Do you get it, by the way? Do you get Fathan's explanation? Yes, right. And I have a question for you. In the last, right, if you see my slides there, it is written that in the last structure, the writer should write the conclusion. And I have a question for you. Like what Fadhan mentioned, that analytic exposition text is used for discussing something important, to show to the readers that the writer want to discuss, to tell that there is some important thing that we need to discuss, and then it is supported with arguments, and in the end the writers write the conclusions, and in the conclusion itself, sometimes for the example, if we talk about the offline and the offline learning for the students right now, that I do believe most students really want to have the offline learning, right? And of course, by setting the arguments, the writers will write the pro and also cons opinions, the what we call it, the agreed one and also the disagreed one, yang bagian setujunya sama yang gak setujunya, pros and cons kan nyebutnya ya. Okay, and in the end, I have a question for you, everyone. Anybody can answer. Will the writer persuade the readers to believe to what the writers mention or explain in the text? The answer is yes or no.
No, Miss.
No, Bagus. Can you tell the reason, or you just answer no?
Soalnya tadi pas saya ngerjain puisi, saya jawab true, malah salah.
Okay, nah, good reason from you, Bagus. Yeah, the answer is no. Okay, so for your informations, there are two exposition texts in the English text, in the genre text of English language. Yang pertama adalah analytical, yang kedua adalah hortatory exposition. Tulisannya HORTATRY, hortatory expositions. Both of the texts are used for stating some issues around the writer. But the difference is, in analytical, in the end, it is written the conclusion. And the writer doesn't ask the readers to agree to what the writer said, to what the writers explain in the text. But in hortatory, it is different. It is different, sorry. Bedanya apa? The readers must follow what the writers write in text. Do you get the difference, everyone? Do you get the difference, everyone? Tahu bedanya? Yeah. It is like what Fadhan mentioned, I think. Analytic exposition text is an argumentative text. Disebut argumentative, not opinion. Saya tadi di pretest ada pertanyaan tentang argument and opinion, ya nggak? Ingat nggak? Oke. Can one of you tell me what is the difference between opinion and argument?
May I try?
Sure. Don't forget to mention your name. Although it is
Okay, my name
there.
is Oscar Gosar. Number absent.
No, it's enough. Just mention your first name. It's enough for us.
Okay. The opinion is based on the point of view the writer or people. When the argument is based on the data or the evidence that that truly happened.
Okay, thank you, Fawaz. How about others? Do you agree with Fawaz's opinion or not? Just mention yes or no. It's easy to answer. Do you agree or not? Yes or no, please answer.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah. Okay, Fatia, you have another opinion, or you want to add?
A little bit add Fawaz
okay.
explanation. I agree with Fawaz. An opinion is about someone's opinion, like a person, and that is pursued people to believe that opinion. But the argumentative, the writers just tell all about the pros and cons and let the readers get the point of that, is true or not about that.
Okay, so it is the same like when I explained the difference between hortatory and analytical expositions, like that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Fatia. How about others? Come on, you may state your opinion about it or your knowledge about it. I have asked you to find any information about it, right? Ayo, ada yang lain mau berpendapat? Whether you agree or disagree.
I maybe miss.
Please.
I think the opinion is like simply thinking, like instantly thinking gitu, Miss. Terus then the argument is like you have backup for that that you said. You know, you have research, you have information and data to make it credible.
Oh, to make it credible. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
miss.
you, Basit, for adding. Yeah, thank you, Basit, Fawaz, and Fatia for stating your opinions or your knowledge about it. And yeah, let me conclude it. So, opinion like this. Argument can be an opinion, but an opinion cannot be an argument. Why do I say like that? Because if as long as what I learn, argument starts from an opinion. But an opinion maybe can be something that is not valid, not what we call it, not trusted, because there is no proof. It is just like personal statement from someone about an idea or about an issue. Ya, contohnya saya ngomong dia cantik cuma gitu doang, ya, without giving the descriptions how beautiful the person is. But in argument, okay, it is the same. I state my opinion, but the difference, I give my descriptions, I give the proof, okay, by supporting my opinion. So my opinion will be more trusted. That's an argument. She is beautiful. She has big eyes, has fair skin. Terus disebutkan lain dan bla bla bla. That really prove that the person is beautiful. It is argument. Ini contoh sederhananya ya. Can you get my explanations and your friends' explanations, everyone? Tahu bedanya? And in writing the analytical exposition text, you are not using opinion. You can write your opinion in the first paragraph, as you know that the first structure is thesis, which you introduce your topic and indicating your point of view. Ini berarti adalah bagian apanya? Opini kamu. And you support the opinion that you write in your thesis in the next paragraph, which is in the arguments. Which, okay, in this part, you give all the proofs about to strengthen your opinion. Saya ini contohnya nggak setuju dengan offline, bukan nggak setuju ya. Sebentar, nanti saya jelasin ya. Offline learning itu ada pro sama cons-nya gitu. Pro-nya apa? Maybe by stating your friend's statement. Mungkin dengan menunjukkan hasil survey or questionnaire. That can become the proof, which then you conclude and become an argument to support your opinion that you state in the first paragraph. Got it? Got it? Okay, that's, and in analytical, yeah, that's baru bahas argument ya. In analytical, you can read it by yourself, okay? You only persuade the readers to tell them that there is something important to discuss. And whether, and in analytical, you don't state your side, you don't state your point of view. Kamu nggak bisa nyebutin that you agree on something or you disagree on something. You have to be neutral. Harus netral posisinya. Oke? Okay? Kamu tidak bisa menyebutkan that I agree with the offline learning, I disagree with the offline learning. No, but you have to be neutral. And in that part, you mention it in the first paragraph, which is the thesis. Gitu ya? Understand? Understand? Okay. Kalau dibaca ya, it is a text that elaborates the writer's idea about the phenomenon surrounding it. Phenomenon can be anything ya. Isu biasanya isu yang update ya, yang bahas yang hangat untuk isu yang masih hangat dibahas. It is analytical exposition. Its social function is to persuade the readers that the idea is an important matter. Cuma cukup itu aja. And to analyze the topic that the thesis or opinion is correct by developing an argument to support it. Ini tadi sudah saya jelasin. And let's look at the generic structure. I have explained about the thesis, right? Here, you introduce your topic. And then, not only the topic, you can also like list the arguments or outlines the arguments that you are going to explain in the next paragraph. Pasti thesis di first paragraph ya. Not only, let me repeat, not only introduce your topic, but also you can outline the arguments that you are making. After you make the arguments here, it is written with S. It means that you can write more than one argument. After the arguments are stated, you conclude it. Cuma menyimpulkan without persuading the readers to ask them to agree with what you are stating in the text. You just let them choose freely whether the writer will agree with your statement or not. Got it? That's the conclusion. Nah, biasanya conclusion kan ada ya, yang paling sederhananya, you can use the word in conclusion or from the explanation above, from the fact above, and others. And in arguments, saya kasih tips sedikit ya. In writing arguments later, it will be much better if you use an what we call it ordinal conjunction. Ordinal conjunction, I think. Dengan nyebutin apa? First, second, third. Jadi lebih apa? Lebih rapi and systematic. And in writing analytical exposition text, ya, you should start it by observing the topic first. Collecting proofs, mengumpulkan bukti dulu, baru apa? Setelah dikumpulkan, you categorize the proofs, dikategorisasikan, and each category will become an argument, yang mana akan disupport dengan data yang kamu punya. And my questions now is, what proof that we can use to support arguments? Can you give me an example? Contohnya apa?
Survey, maybe.
Survey, okay. The result of survey. Thank you, Fawaz. What else?
Data, Miss.
Sorry?
Data.
Well, yeah. What kind of data? There are many data, right?
They can be pictures.
Picture, good. What else?
Research and penelitian.
Research and penelitian. Research and penelitian. The result of research, yeah, maybe can be in the form of journal. Okay, good. Or statement of an expert. Good. What else?
Interview.
Interview, good. Fatia. What else? Tadi Fathan nyebut picture. Selain picture berarti bisa apa juga?
Video.
Video, yeah, can be a video too. Good. Ya, berarti sudah paham ya tentang arguments ya. Do you have any questions by the way? Do you have any questions before I move to the next part? No? Okay.
No, Miss.
No, okay. You're silent, so it means no. Padahal diam berarti iya ya biasanya. I will not explain it a lot. Kayaknya nggak perlu ya. I think the most important part is you have to use simple present tense in writing analytical. Harus wajib. Conjunctions that link arguments. Seperti tadi saya bilang ya. Firstly, secondly, in addition, furthermore, however. Jadi bisa memakai banyak conjunction here. Using causal conjunction, this one that we are going to discuss after this. And then using relational process like this one, this is the example, but it's optional actually. And using internal conjunction. Mostly you use conjunctions in writing exposition text. And the most important thing is you use simple present tense. Okay, enough for the analytic exposition text. Let's move on to the cause-effect linking words. I will not explain about the relationship. I believe that you know the relation between cause and effect. Ada cause, ada effect. Effect muncul jika ada cause, gitu ya. And ada 3 jenisnya yang disebut sebagai linking words, bukan linking verb ya. Ada yang tahu linking verb nggak?
Tahu Miss.
Oh, tahu.
Tahu.
Kirain nggak tahu kan, kalian generasi Z, udah bukan Z lagi ya. Generasi apa kalian? Linking words, jadi kata penghubung cause effect. Ada 3 apa? Ada 3 apa? The first is conjunction, the second is transition, and the last is preposition, right? Okay, let's start it with the conjunction. Again, any volunteer to explain what it is? Come on, I have given you this. Ayo, ada yang bisa coba jelasin?
May I, Miss?
Sure. Please, Fatia.
Okay. The conjunction is the word, the categorized of conjunction is because, since, and as. And we can see the example is Nani didn't go to school because she was sick. Nani didn't go to school is clause. There is subject and verb. And she was sick is clause, subject, and verb. But in this conjunction, the clause categorized like 2, there is effect and cause. Nani didn't go to school is the effect because the causes is she was sick. So in the conjunction, the effect is at first like main clause, and she was sick is another clause. So the first is effect and linking by because, and the second is causes of the why she can be like that.
So the reason, the cause.
Can
we put the cause in the beginning of the sentence?
I think it can, but the linking words is go at first.
So the linking words follow the cause, right? Where it plays,
Yes.
where it is placed. Good.
Like a second, third, and fourth example.
Very good. Is that enough?
Yes, enough, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatia. Give applause to Fatia, everyone. Nice. Thank you so much. Right. In the conjunctions, in the cause-effect conjunction, ya, jadi conjunction linking words yang berfungsi sebagai conjunction, sebagai kata hubung. Kita mengenal conjunction sebagai kata hubung ya. Yang kata hubung menghubungkan cause and effect. Actually, there are still more, not only these 3 conjunctions, masih ada lagi. Seperti kata apa ya, as long as, and then wait, I forgot what I remember is only as long as, masih ada, but we focus only on these 3 conjunctions, because, since, sama as. Nah biasanya kamu mengartikan since itu apa? Translate-nya apa? Sejak, right? So since has 2 meanings. Tidak selalu berarti sejak. As a conjunction, since means karena, the same as because. Dan sometimes you translate as menjadi seperti, ya enggak? My tall is high as him, for example. Sama kan ya? Seperti itu. But as the cause-effect conjunction, as means karena. Semuanya ini artinya karena. Terus biar tahu artinya gimana, Miss? Of course, you need to look at the context. Konteks kalimatnya seperti apa. And because it has a function as the conjunction, okay, and after these conjunctions, as what Fatia mentioned, you put the cause. Dimasukkan penyebabnya dulu. Ya, dan kata conjunction selalu mengikuti kemanapun penyebab itu diletakkan. Whether it is in the beginning of the sentence or in the end of the sentence. If in the beginning, seperti if clause, kalau kalian masih ingat penjelasan saya, you need to put, apa ini? Ditaruh apa? Koma. Ingat kalau if clause juga kan ya, kalau if-nya di depan, you have to put comma. Oke, dan, oke, the cause and also the effect must be written in the form of clause. Yang pasti jelasnya adalah main clause-nya harus selalu dalam bentuk clause. Clause itu apa sih? Clause itu adalah kalimat. Kalimat itu apa? Group of words that has subject and verb. Harus ada subjek sama verb-nya. Ini subjeknya yang mana? Nani didn't go to school. Where is the subject? Nggak ada yang
Nani.
jawab. Nani. Nah, verb-nya yang mana?
Did not. Didn't.
Didn't, bukan didn't-nya doang. Didn't? Didn't?
Didn't go.
Didn't go. Go-nya jangan lupa. Justru verb-nya yang main-nya adalah go ya. Kemudian didn't hear shows that it is negative form. Nani subjeknya didn't go adalah verb-nya. She was, she sebagai subjeknya, was di sini to be has a function as the verb. Paham ya? In the conjunction yang isinya because, since, and as, cause and effect must be written in the form of clause which is subject and verb. Harus subjek sama verb. Boleh diletakkan depan, belakang, as long as the cause follows the conjunction. Because Nani was sick, she didn't go to school. Since Eka came late, her teacher didn't let her join the class. Dibalik, Eka's teacher didn't let her join the class because she came late. Since she came late. Di belakang it doesn't matter. Nggak perlu koma lagi. Understand? Okay, let's move on to transition. Ada yang mau coba? Yuk, saya udah siap dengan note saya nulis nama kamu loh. Any volunteer to explain what transition, cause effect transition? Come on. Ayo, waktunya 9 menit lagi. Nobody wants to try? Nggak ada yang mau nyoba nih? Lumayan nambah poin UTS loh, PTS. Anybody wants to try? I'm going to count till 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, you just lose this chance to get more points for you. Yeah. Okay, so let me take the points then. The point will go to me. Cause effect transition. The transitions that you can use are therefore, consequently, as a result, and so. Okay, ini 3 yang bisa kamu pakai transition that you can use, and it has the same what we call it concept as the conjunction. Konsepnya sama dengan conjunction, okay, but you cannot put the transition in the beginning of the text, or you cannot put it before the result. Bisa nggak kalau saya tulis, therefore, she didn't go to school, Nani was sick. Bisa nggak? Enggak. Karena, okay, these words, if you translate it into Indonesian, artinya jadi apa? Therefore, ditranslate artinya jadi apa?
Karena itu.
Oleh karena itu. Consequently, ya, oleh karena itu juga. As a result, oleh karena itu juga. Sebagai akibatnya gitu ya. So, artinya jadi. You cannot put them in the beginning of the sentence. Sorry, tadi kayaknya saya kebalik ya. You have to put the cause first, and after it the result. And you cannot put the result in the beginning of the sentence. Sorry, kayaknya tadi saya salah nyebut ya. Like this one. Nani was sick. Tanda baca perhatikan ya. Titik dulu. Therefore, comma, she didn't go to school. Perhatikan tanda bacanya. You don't use comma. You may use comma here, but there will be 2 commas. Nani was sick, comma, therefore, comma, she didn't go to school. You can write it like that too. Boleh, tetapi tanda bacanya perhatikan there should be a full point atau period, tanda titik atau tanda koma, and then therefore, comma. Nani was sick, consequently, comma, she didn't go to school. But Nani was sick, titik, as a result, comma, she didn't go to school. Nah, di bagian so, kayaknya saya nggak jelasin di video ya. In the word so, it is the same. You put so in the here, sama aja. Boleh pakai titik, boleh pakai koma. Tapi kalau koma, you write it. Nani was sick, koma, so she didn't go to school. Like the way you wrote it. Biasanya kamu nulisnya gitu kan ya. Nani was sick, koma, so she didn't go to school. Tapi kalau mau pakai titik, it's okay. Paham ya ini ya? Paham ya? Dan sama-sama harus pakai clause, subject verb. Should be in the form of clause, subject verb. Oke, ditulis dulu cause-nya, transition-nya, baru effect-nya. And the last, preposition. Nah, ini yang agak beda dikit. Ada yang mau coba jelasin? Masih saya tawarin nih. Cause effect preposition, what it is? Nobody wants to try? Okay. Let's not waste our time. In the cause effect prepositions, the words that you can use are because of, due to, and thanks to. Ini kalau diartikan ke bahasa Indonesia artinya apa? Karena juga sama. Because of, due to, and thanks to. Ingat ada because, ada because of. And the difference is, it has the same position like in the conjunction. You mention the result first, and then the conjunction, and then the cause. Itu kan ya. Ini sama. Result, preposition, and cause. Ya kan? Akibatnya dulu, preposition baru cause-nya. Boleh nggak ditaruh depan? Yes, you may. Because of her sickness, Nani didn't go to school. But don't forget to put comma. You may change it into due to. Nani didn't go to school due to her sickness. Ingat harus pakai to ya. Artinya karena. And the difference is, if in conjunction you put clause dalam bentuk kalimat that has subject and verb, but in preposition you use noun or noun phrase. Noun phrase bisa terbentuk dari adjective plus noun. Makanya bukan she was sick anymore, but it changed into her sickness. Due to her sickness, Nani didn't go to school. And it is a different of the use of thanks to. Ada yang masih ingat di penjelasan video, thanks to digunakan untuk apa?
Kalimat yang positif.
Kalimat yang positif. Because as you know, thanks means berterima kasih for something, right? Feeling grateful of something. Kalau saya pakainya Nani didn't go to school thanks to her sickness, ya gimana ya? Masa sakit malah senang gitu jadi nggak masuk sekolah? It's impossible, right? Yeah, one of the example, Nani won the competition thanks to her hard practice. Karena latihan kerasnya, dia menang competition. Nah, thanks to di sini, it doesn't mean that you translate into berterima kasih gitu ya. But it's still, you have to translate karena. Nani menang kompetisinya karena latihan kerasnya. But karena there means that Nani feels grateful because of her hard practice. Like that. That's the meaning of thanks to. Can you put thanks to in the beginning of the sentence, by the way?
Yes, Miss.
Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Actually, in meaning, yes, but it's rarely put in the beginning of the sentence. Jarang sekali ditaruh di depan kalimat ya. Just like it is rarely. Biasanya ada di tengah. Okay. Do you get all the explanation? Question, please.
I have a question, Miss.
Please, yes, what is? Hopefully I can answer.
That is about preposition tags. I
Hmm.
still got confused about the adjective plus noun phrase. How to make it noun phrase? How to make the words can be noun phrase?
Yeah. You should practice it a lot, but I have what we call it, actually like a formula that I don't know, I created myself. Contohnya gini, sebentar saya buka Word dulu ya. After this, aku ada Zoom lagi. Will you have a Zoom online meeting? No?
Organic
Tomorrow,
chemistry.
I'm sorry, organic chemistry? What will you have
Yes.
after this? Habis ini
Yes.
Assignment, Miss.
Oh, assignment. Deadline-nya jam berapa?
Midnight, usually.
Midnight, okay. Sebentar ya. Maaf, ada tukang dagang ikan. Sebentar, saya share Word dulu ya. Can you see your screen now? Terlihat ya? Okay. It's just something, nggak tahu ya, ini valid atau enggak. If you student, there is we call it. I have no idea. It's a smart student ini, and you want to make it into Jutuar. There is-nya dicoret. Langsung ditulis apa? A smart student. Ini cara apa ya? Kalau saya dulu belajar di SMP, guru matematika saya itu kalau menemukan teknik yang ngacak tapi sebenarnya bener, itu disebut kayak cara bodohnya gitu. Cara bodohnya. I don't know how to call it. It's just like I'm thinking about it and I think you can use this way, tapi tidak selalu seperti itu. I'm afraid that if it is used as a valid formula, maybe it cannot be applied in certain sentences. Gitu ya. Tapi boleh dicoba. Kalau kamu nemu cause-nya, okay, dalam bentuk there is or there are. Nah, kalau there is a smart student, because of a smart student. Kalau contohnya pakai there are, a bunch of flowers contohnya. Oh, sorry, there are nggak bisa a bunch ya. Some bottles on the table. Berarti because of-nya jadi apa? Because of-nya berubah jadi apa? There are-nya tinggal dihilangkan because of some bottles on the table, like that. And next, if you find this one, tadi ya, she was sick. Coba perhatiin semua, jangan terlewat ini. Saya pisah dulu. She was sick. She is the subject. Was is to be. Ya enggak? Sick is adjective. Biar berubah jadi noun phrase, adjective plus noun, was-nya dicoret. The word she, kamu cari padanannya, kata gantinya, kata ganti kepunyaannya. Si jadi her kan ya? And then the adjective, you find the form of noun of the adjective. Dicari bentuk noun-nya dari adjektifnya ini. Kalau saya punya kata ini, he is happy. What is the because of-nya?
Because of his happiness.
Good, his happiness. Kalau nemu polanya apa? Subject, verb, and then subject, verb, and adjective. Contoh lagi, ada yang seperti ini. He have finished the assignment. Agak complicated ya. Bentuk present perfect. The way, cara bodohnya ya. Ingat, remember. The word have, you change it into having. And then just write the rest of the sentence. Without changing he. He-nya dihapus. And then you change have into having. Because of having finished the assignment, he could play, for example. His mom let him play. His mom let him watch YouTube, for example. Kayak gitu. Jadi have-nya berubah menjadi apa? Having. He-nya hilang. Ini 3 cara, lumayan ya, ada 3 ya. Ada lagi, sebentar saya ingat-ingat. Nah, I don't remember. Cukup ini dulu ya. This one. Sebentar, gini nih. She is a student, for example. Nggak bisa ya. No, nggak bisa. Sorry. No, only this maybe that I can explain you to help you a little to change the clause into non-phrase. And the other way is you have to practice a lot. Harus berlatih banyak. Bagaimana sih nyari biar dia jadi non-phrase? Intinya, kalau non-phrase, you cannot put a verb. Nggak boleh ada verb-nya. Ya, you cannot put a verb if you want to make a non-phrase. Karena non-phrase hanya terdiri dari adjective plus noun. You cannot put a verb. Kalaupun verb, you have to change it into verb ing. Ya. Because of reading the book, for example, ya, I read the book, itu cause-nya ya. Efeknya apa ya? Resultnya apa? I read his book. Resultnya contohnya dia jadi marah gitu ya. She gets angry. Because of-nya berubah jadi apa? Because of reading her book, she becomes angry. Jadi read-nya berubah menjadi reading. Biasanya verb-nya berubah menjadi verb ing. Oh ya, mungkin itu tambahin 1 cara ya tadi ya. Kalau ketemu subject verb, verb-nya bisa menjadi verb ing. Seperti itu mungkin hanya sedikit untuk membantu Fatia exit answering your question.
Yes, Miss. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Is everything clear, by the way? I think yes, because you stay silent. Okay, for the last to explain your activity next meeting, we still have 1 meeting left, right? I will only give an exercise to make you understand the material more. Maybe I will upload it this afternoon or tomorrow. Silakan bebas dikerjakan, but the deadline is next week. Ya, bebas dikerjakan and the deadline is next week. Maybe it will be more than 1 assignment, karena sekalian buat latihan final test ya, for the preparation of your final test. And the material for your final test will be first news item, of course, and the second analytical exposition, and the last is cause effect relationship. Mungkin ada 1 nanti tambahan opinion ya, expressing opinion, but I think I don't need to explain it. I believe that you already understand it. And do you have anything to ask before we close the meeting? Is everything clear? Okay, so that's all for today then. Thank you for participating, and thank you for joining the class, and thank you for being active by explaining your understanding to us today for some of the students. And see you, I don't know, I think this is our last meeting. Am I right?
How about explaining the project, Miss?
What the project? It will be explained by the LB teachers. I think it will be our last meeting. Oh my God.
So sad.
Yeah. Ya just directly I feel sad. I mean immediately I feel sad. Baru keinget ya. Habis itu kan kalian LB. Bloknya selesai. Kamu naik kelas 13 guys. Oh my God. I don't believe that it's so quick. Yeah, thank you so much then. Since it's our last meeting, thank you for having the English activity with me and your 12th grade. I don't know if I will meet you again or not, but of course I will still in Smakbo as long as God still give me life to live in this world. You can still meet me. Yeah, hopefully the situation gets better soon so we can meet at school again. Yeah, and I'm sorry if I mean, in all our interactions, that there is something that you don't like. I feel sorry for that. Thank you so much, everyone. See you when I see you then, and good luck for everything. Bye.
Thank you for teaching, Miss.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Miss,
Miss.
may
Yeah.
we take a picture?
Oh
Or
iya
not?
benar.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Siapa yang mau ngambil
Yes.
gambar ya? Kalian aja yang nyimpen gambarnya ya. Biasanya pada di-uploadin.
Yes.
Raihan can share it to me. Siapa yang mau ngambil gambar?
Maybe Pras.
Pras, biasanya Pras.
Oh ya.
Yes, please.